So, what is up, everyone? I've been requested by the Psycho Challenge to determine which Psycho Ranger is the strongest. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, let's start things off with Psycho Green. Psycho Green has always been like a very nice character. He built up his marks, he does heavy damage with the breakers, but the thing for Psycho Green is, between the other two, is he had to actually build. The big difference between two of them, because others can just do it easy, he actually had to work for a lot of his stuff. Though the damage is satisfying when pulled off, there's like little things here and there for Psycho Green to even like do. You know, that's stuff I appreciate most of the time. I mean, hey, he's always been a canceller, and I always appreciate that about Psycho Green. But sometimes that's not enough for today's meta in society due to Tommy's bullshit and all that in between stuff with all these meta bullshit characters and shit like that in between. So we always look out for those when we can. But, you know, Psycho Green always has his ups and downs, but I wouldn't say he's the weakest, just a little iffy there, here and there, even though he's high on damage. He has his very ups and his very downs versus the other two, but he's actually not really, I would put, last for a lot of reasons. Like, Psycho Red has always, you know, been the nicest Psycho of them all. You know, he finally got that update. It's just that now we're at a time now where it's just sometimes, you know, not enough. He has to play more of a corner game to kind of pull off most of his profit, which is good. I mean, that does make him actually a little bit better than, you know, Psycho Green in general. That's the whole point of the character doing things. But yeah, that's just one of those WTF characters that he was more of a corner pressure game. If he doesn't get corner pressure, he never really, you know, combos off what he needs to do. So that's the whole point about the dash system there. We were able to dash him into a corner to make our job easier. That'd be great. But, you know, he's been stealing energy since, like, forever. But his middle slot isn't the best because it's very random. It's not like Psycho Storm could go into Psycho Storm again without proper setups. But every time you do play Psycho Red, yes, he's doing all this damage, but that's because the opponent fell for the corner. If the opponent doesn't fall for the corner, obviously that becomes the biggest issue with Psycho Red, because he doesn't have really much of a game of getting your opponent where you need him to be. That's why you need some certain assist to kind of keep the pressure in the air so he can go into his moves. Bam, and then you go Psycho Storm. So that's always been a nice bread and butter of Psycho Red in general. But, you know, Psycho Red, I would say, is a tad bit better than Psycho Green, because even though Psycho Red kind of needs his Mad Dash to do most of his combos, and his Rolling Thunder has to not get striked out, there's a lot of things to Psycho Red that always leads to the imagination of doing things. Yes, his damage output can be great, but then it comes down to certain moves that he has to pull off in a battle. Maybe if Rolling Thunder didn't cost 5, I maybe would think more highly of him. At a certain aspect, that would be the whole point. But that's just how Psycho Red is. I mean, there are things I wish I could still change just a little bit to the character. Seeing how Pinky got that up. Yeah, I dropped that, I won't lie. That was a mistake on my end. Yeah, and then this is where Pinky shines versus Psycho Red's middle. Pinky just has a lot more to offer in her middle slot. All of her moves connect. All of her moves combo off each other perfectly versus one move that can combo off the other move, just like the breaker, combos off the breaker. There's like little things here and there, guys. Just like little things here and there. Hey. Yeah, pretty much. That's why, in all honesty, Psycho Pink is technically the strongest Psycho in the game. Psycho Pink, though she's new, she definitely kind of overshadowed a little bit of her brethren in this sort of aspect, due to the fact that Psycho Storm is a 4-cost strike move that if it doesn't hit, you're screwed. And yes, you can cancel it, but that's wasting 4 energy, and then you don't really have enough on your breaker damage to really add up the damage versus what Psycho Pink can do on damage output herself. And when I mean by damage, I mean Savage Mode, just doing a lot of work and interesting tech options. And that's what always made the character very strong in her own world. And that's what we always appreciate about some game, parts of the aspects of the game, that we always try to accomplish, you know. Bam, bam, bam. Let's get some strikes in there. Bam, 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 bam. Strike. So yeah, that's why Psycho Pink has always been like one of the more of the interesting characters, just because her middle slot actually turns her into a better Psycho Ranger than the Psychos themselves. But it's not her fault. It's not her fault. Honestly, it isn't. It really isn't her fault. See, this is what I call a 32,000 HP. So we got to come back from 32,000 HP, which Psycho Pink has a little bit more of the audacity of doing. See, he got confused. He thought I'd do the strike move. Now I'm going to do the strike move and continue my combos. Bam, bam. So he did have the breaker, so I knew what I was looking out for here. But bam, but bam. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to Psycho Pink and her moveset. Bam. We killed Connor. So there was no Connor. Oh, I missed my kick, so he actually could win this if he got a strike. Yeah, I'm not falling for that again. I missed the sword move, so that was on me. So he has nothing but breakers. If he did his breaker and committed, he actually would have got away with that. But Psycho Pink made a very interesting comeback, which shows to show she actually is one of many of the superior Psychos, sadly. But it is what it is. I mean, Pinky reigns supreme. Red had his time, and Psycho Green can still put in some work. Obviously, it just, if you don't get your breakers and you lose your entire 10 stack, it was all pointless. That's the only problem. 10 stack can easily vanish against multi-hitters. So always got to be careful of that. Anyways, that's all we got for you on the Psychos. Which one's the best? Obviously, Pinky kind of takes the gold medal here. Red had his time, and Green had his time. It's now time for Pink Power here. And that's all I got to say about that. Peace out.